All right, it's winter time here in Montana, and that gives me some much needed time to work on my 2024 Husky 300 TE. Since riding season's over, I have plenty of time now to do some much needed maintenance. Today what I'm going to do is go ahead and grease the steering stem bearings. Hopefully I don't have to change them out. Once I accomplish that, I'm going to go ahead and put new handlebars on. I'm going to go ahead and put new adapters for my handguards, and I'm also going to put a chainsaw mount on the 2024 Husky 300 TE. All right, so one of the things I'm going to start with first is I'm not going to take anything off of the handlebars just yet. I'm going to go ahead and undo the handlebars from the triple clamp, fold those over, and that'll allow me to access my steering stem bearings, and hopefully I just have to grease them. So we'll go from there. So the nuts holding the handlebars to the triple clamp is just a 10 millimeter. So we'll just take those off. Then something else I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the bolts that hold my headlight on. The reason I'm going to do that is, well, I have plans for this. Not being here much longer, but I'll show you that here in a bit. But this has to come off for future plans. So that'll come off, and that's just a 8 millimeter. And to disconnect that headlight, all there is a little tab that you push right. I don't know if you can see it there. Right there, there's a little tab. You push down, and then your headlight will disconnect. All right, next I'm going to remove my front fender. Again, there's two bolts here holding my fender on, and there's two bolts underneath right there holding my fender on. Again, these are just 8 millimeters, so I'll remove that really quick. We're going to go ahead and remove these bolts here that hold your clamp on for your handlebars, and that's a T45. All right, now that I have everything removed, I'm going to go ahead and then remove the front tire and loosen the triple clamp bolts and slide out my forks. Okay, now that I have the forks removed, there's a nut right here that needs to come off. So you remove that. And then with the 10 millimeter, I'm going to go ahead and loosen the triple clamp from the stem. Alright, so here's the lower part of the triple clamp, which I did not intend to drop on the ground. Normally there's a little cone that goes around this bearing, and it's called a race. That's still in the steering stem, or the stem. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave that in there, probably clean it up a little bit, put some more grease. And this should just remove like so, and then I can repack this bearing. So it might be hard to see, but that's kind of what it looks like on the inside. I cleaned up around this race there, and then obviously I cleaned up around this race here on the bottom. So now I'm just going to take some good waterproof grease and I'm going to repack my bearings. Alright, so before I reinstall my triple clamp, I went ahead and cleaned everything off since it was pretty dirty. I cleaned the inside of where the forks will go on my triple clamp just so everything goes back together smoother. I'm going to go ahead and retorque everything down to spec, and we'll go from there. And I'm just going with the stock handlebars that came on the bike. Got these from Rocky Mountain ATV. Then I also ordered these handlebar clamps. So what this will do is this will allow me to use this as a clamp for my handlebars to keep these where I want them, but then my hand guards will secure into my handlebar clamp, making it more sturdy. All right, well, we got everything wrapped up. A couple lessons learned is definitely support the bottom of the triple clamp because, as you saw, it'll definitely fall out of there. And I did skip over reinstalling the controls back on the bars. Figured you guys probably didn't want to see it. If you do, let me know. I can definitely put that video out there. But I hope this video was helpful in some way, and I'm definitely glad I greased those bearings, because a lot of these machines come with very little grease installed from the factory. So just doing some preventative maintenance, and well, we'll move on from there. My next video, I plan on doing a top end. So hopefully you found this video informative and helpful, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.